understand this. Here's why. There is nobody here pot committed enough to this, including myself. There's nobody in this theater right now pot committed to this enough, including myself. When I say pot committed to this, what do I mean? I mean every person in this room needs to take a substantial step back and understand, am I producing enough pictures, videos, written words in these platforms to achieve what I want? And the answer, and I'll save you time, is no for everybody. And for somebody who's putting out 85 pieces of content a day across audio, video, and written word a day, my answer is staggeringly no. Meanwhile, there are people here who take 4.5 hours to figure out a perfect Instagram post because they want it to look good when somebody lands on their fucking profile. Sure. The quickest gateway, the quickest execution for everybody here to get whatever the hell they're trying to get out of here today is to produce content on 10 websites. The quickest way for you to get what you want in your life is to produce videos, pictures, and written words across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, podcast, your website, email, text messaging platform, period. You know what's crazy? I literally want to say right now, thank you, London, I'm out. It is like, I'm thrilled to go into the mindset. I'm thrilled to tell you, and if you follow me on Instagram, this is where I've taken most of my content, I'm thrilled to tell you that the reason you're not producing enough content is unfortunately you value other people's opinions more than your own ambition and happiness. That literally pants 47 can leave a content that you're ugly and it makes you stop posting. I can go into that. I can go into a million other things, but I make this very clear and obvious. The reason I am just beginning to succeed in my ambitions is because today is the least amount of content that I will produce, because I will produce more tomorrow and more the next day. You have to understand, media dictates everything, right? There's a specific reason that when there is a coup in a country, that the army goes and takes over the TV network and the newspaper. Communication is the game. Maybe because of being born in the Soviet Union and raised in the US, I have this paradox of being fascinated by a closed and open system of communication. Maybe because I'm an extrovert and I talk a lot. I don't know why, but something came natural to me my whole life, which is communication. What are the things that make people do things, right? What I'm fascinated by is the democratization of media. What I'm fascinated by is that everybody here, how many people here have been following me for more than 1 year? Raise your hand. The fact that 90% of this audience knows that all I want you to do is run Instagram ads and you still aren't, makes me want to punch all of you in your fucking face. I mean, literally all I've been asking you to do for the last 2 years is run Facebook and Instagram ads, and you fuckfaces still aren't. And I say this because I put it on film, because I'm going to run this exact video against you in 5 years on some platform, telling you that you missed the golden era of Facebook and Instagram because now it's appropriately priced. And you guys have heard me, if you follow me, say this. I regret that I wasn't able to build my dad's business bigger because I didn't spend enough on Google. I did spend enough. I had it figured out. It was called Google AdWords. It was working. Yet I still was doing newspapers and direct mail and radio and television because I didn't understand the context of the moment that I was living in. I didn't have enough experience to know that I bought something so good, so underpriced, so scalable, that I didn't squeeze the fuck out of it enough when Google AdWords was the best. If you follow me, you've heard me say that Amazon was the #1 spender on Google AdWords in those early days, and literally used that underpriced attention to be what they are today. I want you to spend on Facebook and Instagram because there's a possibility that never in our lives again will you be able to get in front of people at that cost. Let me just say it one more time because I really need you to understand it. This, right now, and this is why I yell at myself, for the $50 or $80 or $100,000 of my own money that I spend on ads on these platforms to continue to build brand, the truth is, I should spend more. And this is not a joke. If I didn't have such a high expense to run my lifestyle because I have a family that's fancy now, let me make it more basic. If I was single right now, I would literally go move in back with my parents just so I had more money to run on Facebook and Instagram ads. I'll say it one more time. We have never lived in a time where brand was this underpriced. Let me explain. What is the biggest difference between me and a lot of people that look like me, or me and the companies that I work with and I get them there? It is the fact that I do branding, not sales. Branding is different than sales. I love when people come up to me like, Gary, I'm a marketer. I'm like, cool. What do you do? Well, I am an affiliate marketer, and it's conversion-based, top of the. I'm like, you're a salesman, bro. You're not building a brand. You have 747 URLs that you do landing page optimization against, and you convert. Being an affiliate marketer is amazing, other than the fact that it should be called an affiliate salesman. Brand is why you buy Nike. Brand is why everybody who's wearing jewelry and watches right now are wearing what they're wearing because they bought a brand, not somebody cookied them on Instagram and remarketed to them, and then they bought that watch, for the most part. And so I brand, and why I love brand is because it's in perpetuity. When you build a brand, you can play on that brand for a very, very, very long time. Why Facebook and Instagram are special, and more special than Google is in Google's heyday, it was not that I was building brand for Wine Library, I was building sales, because when you go on Google, all of our businesses are the same because they're blue letters on a landing page you click. Brand is when your pictures and videos look different in a feed. Look, I think I'm coming out of the gate in this talk, and I'm going to macro it up in a minute, but I'm coming out the gate in this talk very tactical about the details. In all my rah-rah and fuck what people say, and self-esteem, and all the mental shit that I believe in tremendous, because that's what gives you the engine. You're not going to execute shit if you're depressed or insecure. So I believe in it, but I'm putting it on a shelf, UK. I'm putting it on a shelf with you right now because an event that is so heavily marketed against me, knowing that you've heard a lot of this, I need one thing. I need two people to leave here who've been hearing me pound them in the fucking face about running ads on these two platforms to finally say, fuck, it's enough. And watch this. This is very, very important. And please don't bullshit. Raise your hands. How many people here have run Facebook and Instagram ads and it has not worked for their business? Raise your hands. Raise it high. Me too. Because not every execution works. Not every execution works. It doesn't mean it's not ROI positive. The ROI of a basketball for me is $0. It's $1 billion for LeBron. Just because you didn't execute Facebook or Instagram properly doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means you suck. This is going to be the era of regret, and I promise you that. This is going to be the era of regret. The prices of Facebook. How many people here have been marketing successfully on Instagram and Facebook for the last 3 years? Raise your hands. 3. I need 3 years, and I need your hands. If it's less, don't raise it. I just need people banging on it successfully for 3 years. Raise it high. I just want to get a sense. Keep it up for a second. I love some of the gangsters here. They're like this because they don't want people to fucking know. I like it. What all of you know, that I know, thank you. What the 20 or 50 of you know is it's not as good of a deal today as it was a year ago. Right? Just look at it. It is not as good of a deal today as it was yesterday. Here's where it gets scary. I'm getting goosebumps. I know there's a bunch of fucking cameras, so maybe you'll zoom in before it goes away. The reason I'm getting goosebumps is imagine the weird life that I live, and let me break it down for you as I did before. I live a life today where I spend 3 hours with 3 different clients, spending all my time trying to convince them to move their money from television and dressing up double-decker fucking buses in London and take that money and spend it on Facebook and Instagram. I then get in a car and come into a room of entrepreneurs and SMBs and tell them to spend money on Instagram. What's really crazy about this is the following. Corporate, I understand why they're not doing it. Because they are stuck, right? They have, the way they score their marketing doesn't show that it works. They score their marketing not in real life. They score it based on awards and reports and stuff that isn't the actual sense of actually selling stuff. We do. Prices have gone up is because other entrepreneurs and small businesses, and mainly Silicon Valley startups, are pouring enough money in to what is a very simple supply and demand platform, and they've raised the price because there's only one fee. From my homie here, if 20 didn't want to get into his stream, was less. Now that there's 28 of us, it's more. That's how Facebook makes money. That's how Google makes money. Supply and demand platforms, basic as fuck. Do you understand? Here's the problem for everyone. The second the domino falls, and the biggest thing that you should be thankful for if you're a Facebook entrepreneur, Facebook and Instagram, is that the Russians hacked the American election. Because all that propaganda made a lot of big companies pause and be mad at Facebook and not pour the appropriate money in, which bought us executing entrepreneurs another year of taking advantage of underpriced attention. But don't clap, even though that dude woo-hooed. Because what's about to happen next is going to make all of you regret to not listening to me for the last 3 years. What is going to happen in the next 10, 12, 24 months is that Evian and Coca-Cola and BMW and Rolex and Puma and Nike and GE and everybody else is going to make the choice, and they're going to take their $200, and $100, and $400, and $800, and $900 million budgets and put it into the system. And for all of us that it's working for, because it works at $8 a CPM, $8 to get in front of 1,000 people, 42 of which act, 17 which convert, that was $28. Where our models, attention is like real estate. Attention is like real estate. When Malibu beachfront property or shortage 20-year market and you buy it at the right price and then the market, the attention on this device is going to change very soon. You are a very unique group of people that feel the hype of this opportunity, spending for 2 days, what have you. It devastates that you, at all, don't execute on the biggest gift that I'm trying to give you. It devastates me that you pick, I don't want your likes. I don't want your following. I definitely don't want to sell you some bullshit in the back of the room. I've already made more money than I need to in my entire life, and I didn't know who Gary Vee was, because I just don't need a lot of money. I need admiration. You know how I get admiration? That you listen to me, execute, your life's a hell of a lot better, and you email me in 3.5 years and say, thank you so much coming to the UK. Then it finally hit me. At the time, I had been following you for 2.5 years, but something about the way you spoke that day and being in the room finally made me say, fuck it. It took me 3 months and a couple $1,000s, but then I figured it out. And over the last 6 months, guys, if you noticed, I started getting back into sports cards. People are selling me like Michael Jordan rookie cards for like 100% less than market because the emails coming. Literally, a baseball card dealer emailed me and said, I was $280,000 in debt 19 months ago, and now I have millions of dollars just by actually finally listening to you. Guys, one more time, people playing on Facebook and Instagram, raise your hands. The people that have their hands up, by show of hand or wave your arm or whatever the fuck we're gonna do, admit to yourself, then me, then them, that when you first started doing it, We didn't know what the fuck we were doing, and so underpriced that anything we did worked, correct? Underpriced attention. It works every time. It's about to go away, and let me be very clear, for all the nice little things I said about everything over the last 8 minutes, this talk for the last 10 minutes is selfish. I cannot wait. And I will run this video to the world when this goes away and everyone's crying, and all you fuckers are going to email me and say, Gary, you have to help me. What's next? And I'm going to say, Sally, nothing, dick, you fucked up. 2004 to 2014 was a long decade before something came along that even remotely looked like Google AdWords early for me. And there is no guarantee in augmented reality or voice or any other technology, AI, that's coming, that we will have this opportunity to communicate to people about what we want to at such a price that even if you're average, you will get business results. My friends, you should leave this keynote right now, get in the fucking tube, go home, and fucking figure out how to start running ads. And I don't mean go home and hire some 26-year-old to run ads for you. I mean you have to go home and spend 10 hours reading and watching videos of how to actually run a Facebook ad, how to actually make a picture and video for it, and watch the results so you taste it. You have to taste it. You have to be a practitioner of it, because it is the lotto ticket of the moment, and everybody is just letting it slide by. And I'll be honest with you, I'm thrilled. To be frank, it's better for me if you don't do it, because it makes it cheaper for me to do it. But in my complete obsession with being historically correct and admired, I'm giving it to you. What's fascinating is a long time ago, I figured out why I don't sell my best advice, why I give it away for free. Why? Because 99% of you aren't going to do anything about it. It's the biggest brain fuck ever. I mean, I would argue that that was a pretty compelling 15-minute rant to get you to run a fucking Instagram ad. And 99% of you are still not going to. Brother, I don't give a fuck. Just do it. Don't tell me. This is so ridiculous. Let me bounce around a couple other things. Let's talk about content, because I just talked about distribution. The other thing is you got to fill the ads. The reason I film myself fully, besides being a narcissist, is by filming myself, I've been able to create a system that allows me to produce more content than anybody. What I find fascinating about Gary Vee, my persona, me, it's actually me, but what I find fascinating about it is I spend 18 hours a day running a company. I am not an influencer. I am not a personal brand. I am an operator, a business operator. Not only running Vayner, but all the other things that Vayner actually, there's Kiro Hour, 1:37 p.m. or something else we're about to announce. Not 15 minutes ago speaking to AJ about Vayner Sports and what we're going to do there. He runs it. I obviously do my thing. On the phone with my dad and Brandon last night about a thing. I'm in it. I'm fucking working every fucking minute, every second, all the time, always, and I'm putting out more content than people that are a personal brand for a living. Why? Not because I'm out hustling them, smarter than them. It's based on understanding what I'm actually doing and what I hope a lot more of you do. The reason I film myself is the following. By filming myself, it gives me unlimited opportunity to not only create video, but to create audio and written word. And one of the biggest things I believe in the world is you do not create friction for the end customer. If you want to consume me on Instagram, I'm going to give it to you. If you want to listen to me on podcast form while you're running, I'm going to give it to you. If you want to consume a 1-hour keynote and watch it on Roku, I'm going to fucking give it to you. I create no friction for any of you to consume me. So many of you are producing content and you create friction because you only fuck with Instagram or YouTube, but you leave everything else out. So you narrow your upside because you're doing what you want to do, not what they want. Literally every single maneuver I make in business is 100% predicated on the audience. 100%. So people always like to razz me like, Gary, you're such a fucking digital guy. Why do you write books? Because people read them, asshole. I don't read them, but people read them. And so I am unbelievably imploring you to understand a couple things. I have a top 100 global podcast, yet I never sit down and do a podcast. Why? Because I'm able to extract the audio. This talk right now is an episode of one of my podcasts in 7 weeks. You know it. This is how it is. It's also going to be an article in LinkedIn called LAST stands for Instagram ads, you dick faces, you know? It's also going to be 3 little clips on Instagram, especially Q&A, where I'm able to talk about new things instead of the pillars that I believe in, and on and on and on. I can't implore you guys more to get home and get serious about content creation. If you were fortunate enough to be extroverted or lack insecurity in front of a camera, you should be filming yesterday. But I also have empathy that it's not for everybody. And if it's not, and you love writing, I am thrilled that you'll be writing. And let me tell you something about writing. One of the things that I see so many of you, and I've been watching people mention this and looking at their Twitters and looking at their Instagrams and DMing some of you, so many of you are relying too heavily on just the pictures on Instagram and not adding context and copy. I believe copy, the written word, is the great underdog right now in content creation. We've become so visual with pictures and video, we've punted written word. I can't write for shit and I'm doing it. I really implore most of you to do the following. Take a step back and figure out how you communicate to the world. How do you communicate to the world? Are you best at audio? Are you good at video? Do you write? If you're lucky enough that you can do video, that is where you go, because what video does is allows you to then edit it underneath it into audio and written word. If you don't, that's fine too. Forcing it will never work. We've seen a lot of people try to do video online, and it's been scary and ugly and a train wreck. It's just not for them, and that's fine. So what I'm thinking a lot about is how to put you in a position to succeed in content creation, and then figure out how to be great at distributing it. When you get to the distributing part, my friends, you have to respect the context of the platform. I'm watching so many people that are in B2B try to win on Instagram, but they're acting like Instagram's LinkedIn. Doesn't matter if you're a lawyer or a financial advisor or you sell concrete. If you treat Instagram like LinkedIn, even though your business is more LinkedIn, you will lose. If you do not respect the context of the room, you will lose. These platforms are rooms. They are rooms. Fuck. It's just so intense. The reason I just went there, I'm just thinking, how the hell do I get them to understand? How do I get people to understand how big of a deal this is? Nothing is more valuable than attention. I literally value attention equal to oxygen. I couldn't get you to understand it more if you got inside my head. And I can't figure out how to break people through, which is how, ironically, I think you'll find this interesting. I think the reason that I was willing to go back to mindset and motivation over the last year and a half, where after 4 years I was basically quiet about that because I didn't want to be a motivational speaker, was because I'm so desperate for you to communicate more to the world. Met more and more people, I was like, oh fuck, they're not doing it because they don't know how to make a picture or video or written. It's because this is broken. They're insecure here. That's why they're not making, and that's the problem. I mean, there are people here that literally post on Instagram, and if they don't get enough likes, they delete it. They delete it because they think it's a scarlet letter that shows their audience doesn't give a fuck. They're playing the wrong game. It's short. Do you know how many people email me every day saying, Gary, how do I get to 10,000 followers? I'm at 4,000? That means something. We just have to change the paradigm of this conversation. We have to. Let me talk about a couple other things. How many people here are B2B? How many people here are entrepreneurs? Raise your hands. How many people here are employees at a company? Raise your hands. So for many of the entrepreneurs here, another thing that I would highly recommend is looking very deeply at influencer marketing. I can't get over the fact of how underpriced influencer marketing is, how much it converts, and how wild, wild west it is. Here's what I mean. Just because somebody has 100,000 followers on Instagram, and you pay them $1,000, and somebody else has 40,000, and they want $1,000. I'm surprised at how basic people are, and they think the 800,000 is the better deal. I understand, it makes sense, the math is pretty clear. But a good affiliate marketer can tell you the conversion is going to really matter. If you're trying to sell something, whether it's a service or a product, I couldn't push you harder to get into the culture of DMing influencers that you think may represent your brand properly or just have big audiences, and start asking them what they would want for them to post about your B2B SaaS product, or your new app, or your hula hoop, or your fucking cool tea, whatever it may be. All I ever think about, I'm very basic. I keep shit super simple on supply and demand. I overlay attention and then culture, what's happening in it, and that becomes me, and I will always do that. No question, the other territory that I'm completely blown away by is influencers. Super underpriced, potentially super overpriced, but not allocating a couple $100, a couple $1,000, tens of thousands of bucks, depending on the size of your business, and putting it into that tunnel and that funnel and tasting it for yourself is a huge missed opportunity. Huge. Let me talk about another execution. I'm really excited about how tactical I'm getting today. Pre-roll YouTube. How many people here consume videos? There's a way for you to segment and target people based on what they searched on Google, roll them based on what they're doing on YouTube. Meaning, there's a segmentation that allows to target that search open houses in downtown London. If you're selling in downtown London, and he's searching open houses in downtown London, I always watch Arsenal videos on YouTube. Your pre-roll can show up created in YouTube search. It is one of the unbelievably strong brand and sales executions in the game, and you should literally go home and Google, because I don't know what the proper terminology is of this segmentation. How do I segment based on Google search as a pre-roll YouTube ad? Verbatim that. How do I search pre-roll YouTube ads based on Google search queries? Thanks, Rob.